Agreed. Greetings and salutations. The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
Hi, it's us, Nicole.
And me, Tessa.
And we both remember who we are this time.
I know. Welcome back. It's Doom Generation, baby.
It's just, sorry. I know you love the research assistants, but...
I know, but we have something special cooking up this weekend, so that you're not even going to get to know about.
I know that they won't even
later.
hear about until August, for crying out
I know,
loud.
but it's perfect because it's Adventure August.
Yes,
it's about
it fits
an adventure,
perfectly.
and it's our adventuring friend. So
yes, totally. Our lost boy.
It all fits. Our lost boy, she is. Our lost girl.
But this week it's just us, and we're talking about Parenthood from 1989.
Yes,
which
we are because,
it
got lighter and lighter.
Yeah.
It is.
It's got several moms.
There are several moms, the best moms, not only Wiest infection, but also Mary Steenburgen.
I know.
Like two of the best moms. And then Martha Plimpton, who I don't think she's a mom, but she's cool.
Yeah, I love Martha
She's
Plimpton.
cool. She's still cool.
And I think we talked about that neither of us had watched this since having kids.
Yeah.
So it's
I don't think I've seen it since becoming a parent.
Perspective to watch it. Because I was watching it probably from the time it came out on video. Like I was probably 10 or 11 the first time I saw this.
Well, now I understand all those like little that like your folks would do, your mom would do while they were watching it. Like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all
you're
right.
seeing it from a totally different view now.
And it still blows my mind that Steve Martin, who is the first one on this list in the cast, did not become a parent
until he was 67.
I did.
Yeah,
the same year
crazy.
I became a parent, Steve Martin became a parent.
That's
and Steve
crazy.
Martin was like the best dad. Was he not? He was like the best dad. Like you wanted Steve Martin to be your dad.
For
like,
sure.
I wanted like Dabney Coleman to be my dad for some reason, and also Steve Martin to be my dad. For obvious reasons.
Of course. And he's only supposed to be 35 in this, but he's only 40, I think, in real life.
He's 44.
Oh, 44.
And
okay.
he did think it was kind of ridiculous that he would be playing a 35-year-old because he knew that, what he looked like. But he had white hair from the time he was.
Yeah.
He was like, he went gray in his 20s or something like that. And also, by the way, I believe all of the parents, not just Steve Martin, who is not sub 40, but they're all supposed to be sub 40.
Yeah,
I know
he's
that
the oldest,
Larry is
right?
27.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the oldest, so they're all between 27 and 35.
So they're all under the age. They're all younger than us
by a good
measure.
Some between 10 and more years, probably.
By a good measure. Larry's supposed to be 27.
Yes.
We're closer to the age of Grandpa, I feel like.
Jason Robards.
By the way, who's supposed to be like 54.
No, he says he's 64.
Or 56.
He's about to retire. He's supposed to be 64.
Okay, because I heard 54 and I was like, oh my God.
When he was talking to Larry about the money and whatever afterwards, or when he was talking to Gil, maybe he says something about,
when he says, because that's when he says how
I'm
old.
about to retire.
Oh, okay, because I thought he said 54, I nearly had like a 43-year-old's heart attack.
Yeah.
When I was like, are you for fucking real? Because the next one I watched after this was also kind of a shocker, which I won't bring up here. I'll bring up later.
Okay.
As far as ages and what they were playing, like what the fuck?
Right.
What the fuck?
That happened so much and we never questioned it at that age.
No, they were like adult.
Yeah.
Like Larry was like a fucking adult to me.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And like Larry's a fucking loser.
Mm-hmm. A 27-year-old loser.
Like a hardcore loser. Like I wasn't even that losery when I was 27.
He's the baby of 4 kids, so he was like probably the oopsie baby where they thought
I
they were
never
done.
should have had 4, right?
Yep.
Probably. They're probably Catholic.
Well, because that's what Gil ends up having, a oopsie baby.
Yeah, that too. Like we just fucking come wherever. You can't do that shit.
Come on.
You cannot do that shit. Could you imagine? Ugh. Could you fucking imagine? I mean, I know you don't have to, but I have to imagine this.
Yeah.
Like, there's no fucking way. I got $500 says I'm not.
Here, I'll read that
I'll bet on
again.
it.
Read that
I'll
just again.
bet on it. I got $500 says I'm not. I'm at a much better age to face the gauntlet now. Like I almost kind of would be like it would be fun for me to do it. I just show up.
You're gonna wish
like,
that down
abortion.
upon yourself. You better
No.
stop.
I don't want that. I'm just saying like I should just go to
just to go argue with
the
them?
clinics now, just to go to argue with them now because I'm not there for any reason
To be
except
the
for to argue
defensive
them.
lineman.
And now I'm an adult. Yeah, like I'll just run interference. Like that's what I should do. Well, I don't have the time. When I have the time, when I retire,
There you go. That's what you'll do.
that's what I'm gonna do.
So let's get through this cast. It's not like super duper long, but there's some
No,
big
but
names
it's
in
pretty
here.
long. Like we said, Steve Martin is Gil Buckman.
His wife is Mary Steenburgen, Karen Buckman.
Dianne Wiest as Helen Buckman, his sister.
And you never meet her ex-husband.
No,
You never do see him.
no, it's Ed Lampkin, but you never see who
Yeah.
it is.
Jason Robards is Frank Buckman.
Rick Moranis as Nathan Huffner.
And then because I forgot who all was siblings with who, I forgot to write down Susan.
Harley Jane Kozak.
There we go.
or Harley Kozak was credited in this movie as Susan Huffner, who
Okay.
is the youngest
Of the-
sister of the Buckman family. She's
Okay.
older than Larry, younger than the other two.
Tom Hulce is Larry Buckman. Amadeus.
Amadeus.
He didn't
Cool,
do the
cool,
laugh.
cool.
He
Cool,
should have.
cool, cool. He almost did.
He got close.
I saw that face.
He wanted to.
He really did. Like we said, our beloved Martha Plimpton as Julie Lampkin.
Leaf Phoenix as Garrry Lampkin.
And that was the last time he was credited as Leaf.
And I remembered
before
him
he became
being
Phoenix.
younger. Like, I forgot he was like a preteen or like, he's supposed to be what, 13, 14, something like that.
He's
in
like
this.
13 or 14
But
or
in
something
my
like that.
memory, I thought he was a little kid. So I'm wondering what I'm thinking of that I saw him in where he was a smaller kid. Because in my memory, he had like shorter hair and he was maybe 10. So I feel like he must have played
I know
in
he
something
was
else.
in other things. But also, Martha Plimpton dated River Phoenix
Right.
for quite a while.
5
they were
years, I
together for
think.
quite a while.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, our other beloved,
As
Todd Higgins.
And he's Todd with one D and Gary's two
Yes.
R's. I was like, oh, he had
Yep.
to get an extra R to
I
make
know.
up for the missing D.
It's like the weirdest thing to me that Garrry has 2 R's, yet Todd has only 1 D.
Yeah, it's so strange. What a choice.
It's not Todd, Todd.
No. Allison Porter, little Curly Sue as Taylor Buckman.
Jason, what did I fucking say? Jason something.
As
Where
Kevin
did
Buckman. Where is it? I forgot to write it down.
I know. Fuck. Why did I not write it down? I couldn't. Well, whatever. As Jason Buckman, and we found out he's the kid from The Witches,
Right.
and also in Hook.
yes.
He's in. Like he was around for a little while.
And that's all I have.
Eileen-
Oh,
I have Eileen Ryan as Marilyn Buckman as grandma.
okay.
Helen Shaw as Gigi,
Mm-hmm.
great grandma. Dennis Dugan as David Brodsky, the boss, and Clint Howard.
Yeah, he's
as
a
Lou,
little
the
asshole.
little league dad.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Yeah, that's the rest of my list.
Yeah.
So we start out of a little kid arriving late to a baseball game with his dad.
Right, and this voiceover, this Hot Peanuts, this is Steve Martin.
Oh, was it? I didn't even notice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it turns out the little boy is Steve Martin as a child.
Right. Yeah.
And that
little
this is
Gil.
a memory.
Right.
That
but
he's,
like,
yeah, he's remembering all the times his dad once a year on his birthday would bring him late to a baseball game, leave him with
And then
an usher,
bail on him.
and go
Right.
hang out with his boys. So we know right from the beginning, Jason
Harsh.
Robards was not a great dad.
harsh.
Good,
Like it reminded me of like when my grandpa, like if you wanted to hang out with my grandpa, you had to go down to the horse track.
Oh God,
You had to go to Santa
Yeah.
Anita, and like he wouldn't, like he would be busy, so like you would just have to hang on to his belt loop.
Oh jeez.
He would just be like, hang on to my belt loop and like don't get lost.
Great. Thanks, Grandpa.
Thanks. We're gonna watch the ponies run.
There's definitely no
Yay!
chaos at the horse track. I'm sure
Nope.
it'll be fine.
No, it was
well,
fine.
you're
You were
still
watching
here with
the
us
horses
today, so
I know. I made it, and I like horses, so that's cool. He took you to McDonald's afterwards.
Oh, and I guess we should say, so this was Ron Howard and a couple other dudes, and they based this all off of their experiences parenting.
Right.
So I would assume each one of them probably I think there were 4 writers, there were 4 siblings, and so I'm going to guess each one
Babaloo
of
Mandel.
them. Babaloo. I'm going to guess each one of them picked a sibling and wrote, you know what I mean, their
like
little
about
storyline based
what
on
their-
something that happened to them.
Right. I do know that the nude pictures was something that happened to Brian Grazer.
Oh yeah.
I think it was like, I don't know exactly what the story was, but it was, I would assume that like they took nudie pictures on their disposable camera and turned it in, and their
Right.
parent picked up the wrong. Could you imagine? Because I used to do that shit.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We're
We're jumping way ahead.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, you brought that other thing up about it was based on their experiences.
Oh, well, yeah, just to, because we probably should have said
I
that
know.
to begin with, that was
I know.
who made the
I know.
movie, directed
I
it.
know.
We never talk about really who directed or wrote
No,
any
we
movies.
never ever
just
do.
jump right in.
We do.
But I just
We
found
do.
that interesting because, like, they're all very real experiences.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. It was very heartfelt.
Yeah,
It got me in the feels.
heartwarming, but it's also funny. It's
It
a
is.
dramedy.
It is.
For sure.
It is. It's a great movie. It's a great
It's
movie.
very good. So yeah, so he has the whole setup is him having this imaginary conversation as a kid with this amalgam usher that he's put together in his memory of all the
Exactly.
dudes his dad left him with at the game.
Karen breaks into his memory like the game is over. Like
Time
let's
to
go.
go.
And it's just chaos. 3 kids.
This whole scene of them trying to put these 3 kids under 10 in this car. And that little one, I don't know how old that little kid was because he seems like he's 4, but he is so adorable and crazy
I know.
and weird, and like
I know.
the stuff he says.
He's wildin'.
He's
Could you
wacky.
imagine having another one after that?
When you got this kind of, you got one every time you get him in the car, flopping out of the car, one fucking, they
Right.
got all this stuff they bought them at this baseball game.
I know.
and yeah, trying to get in the minivan.
The girl is normal.
She's pretty normal. I think
Ish.
she's,
I mean, like whatever you would consider normal. Like she's quiet.
yeah, quieter.
She's quiet for the most part.
And they finally get them all in, and it seems like they must live quite a ways from the ballpark.
Right.
Because they've got a journey in
They
the
have
minivan.
to take the whole trip. They do the diarrhea song.
When you're sliding in the first and you feel
And
something
you're feeling
burst.
something burst.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
Yeah, so yeah, they do
Diarrhea.
that over and over. He learned this at camp, and he's like, "Oh, great, money well spent." He learned this at camp.
I'm so glad. Well, they're not doing too terrible if they could send one of the kids to camp.
Well, you find out he's got a pretty good job, but she's a housewife,
does.
so he must have.
I know.
He must get he must make quite a bit of money, but it's also the
Well, it's
1989,
also-
so
Exactly. It's easier to do that.
it was
in those
easier.
days.
So they get home. He carries the oldest one into bed. The
Oh.
girl's already in there. You remember that feeling?
Don't you love it? Don't you love it when you fall asleep in the car and you wake up in your own bed?
I still
Oh,
remember that shit.
Nothing better.
40 years
Nothing
later.
better. I know. It's like a very, very sweet memory to have.
And only
every
the-
child should have that.
Only the oldest fell asleep, so he gets carried in. The
Right.
toddler's in there nude in his cowboy
With
gear.
the-
So he's got just his cowboy, his gun holster,
Right.
his hat.
His whole penis is out. This
His whole
child
butt
that
is
is
out.
now a grown
Could you imagine?
man is like, yes, my penis is on film for all of time.
At like 3 or
My
4
penis
years old.
and my butt cheeks. I mean, yeah, it's not the same, but still.
And little Curly Sue is in there on their bed because she didn't feel so good. So she sends Dad in to go take care of her, and he's like,
she goes,
"Do you feel like you're
she's
gonna
like, "Oh, my
puke?"
s-
Okay.
And I know that's happened to you.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
happened to me,
Oh,
like
yeah.
as a parent, like that projectile
Uh-huh.
vomit. The one time, it's happened more than once, but the one time that's memorable where it happened to me, I had just like bathed the
Of
child
course, of
because he
course.
was sick, you know? So I had just put him in the bath to get him feeling all better or whatever. And I was taking him out of the bath and I was cornered in the corner.
There was no way to move
of
around
the wall,
it.
you know, the corner. And like I was dragging him off with the towel and he just wound up and fucking blah, like all over. And I just put him right back in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's,
I mean, I guess at least you're in the bathroom already.
I guess, but we had just finished.
And I remember doing that. I mean, I more remember the aftermath, but I remember puking all over my bed, and that my mom was trying to clean the bedding and her boyfriend was trying to put me in the shower. But I was so covered in vomit and he was so disgusted. He could not stop gagging while trying to put me into the shower. And like I was just sitting there like shivering, like
just
like
horrible.
just standing there waiting
That was
for
my
him.
dad. My dad
Couldn't
could not
handle
deal
it.
with the vomit. Vomit was not his bag.
And
a lot
his-
of things he could deal with, not that.
His wife comes in like, why are you just standing there? He's like, I'm waiting for her head to spin around. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
he's
like,
in
I
shock.
don't know. Like,
Like,
yeah.
what do you do? It already
I
happened
just got
now.
thrown up on. Like, now it's all over the goddamn place. What do you want me to do? Like, she just walked in after it happened.
And that's
like,
a
what is he
better-
supposed to do?
That's a better reaction than him panicking and like scaring the kid by like,
I know.
and picking her up and running
I
her in the
know.
bathroom. It's like just,
I know.
he just went, oh, shit.
oh,
I
okay.
just got puked
well,
on.
like,
Great.
that's vomit. All right.
That's happening now. And
But we
God
gotta
bless
move.
them. God bless them. These two still want to try to make love this evening.
Right?
After an
I
all-day
would be-
baseball game with 3 kids and that struggle and the
Absolutely not.
vomiting and the naked one.
We have one child that is healthy most of the time, thank goodness.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
don't want to have sex with my husband.
Like, I can't imagine. They're troopers, man.
Well, they're 35.
True, they're younger than us, so. But
They're 35. They're 10 years, almost 10 years younger
yeah,
than we are at this time. Well, Steve Martin in real life is our age, but
Yeah.
still.
but so they she brings up this school meeting during mid foreplay. She's like, oh, by
Right.
the way, Kevin's got
I
a
forgot.
meeting, a teacher's meeting.
This will get you hard.
And he's like, okay. And then they try to go back to it. And she's like, oh, by the
And
way,
he's
they want him
like-
to have a psych eval. And he's like,
Well, what the fuck does that mean? Like,
What
I
does
don't
that
want
mean?
him like pegged as like the weird kid. I don't want to do, because it's hard to
Yeah.
get that notification.
well, because you
from
always
school.
think it's like, nah, he's just, he's
Right,
just a
it's
weird
just
kid,
like-
whatever. It's
yeah,
like, whatever.
he's just kind of weird or
Sensitive,
whatever. Well, this kid is very sensitive.
True. He's
This
like,
kid is very.
he's like, now if it was my
sensitive.
sister's kid,
Right?
now there's
like,
a
talk
kid
about
with
a mess.
problems.
And so, cut to little
Garrry,
Garrry,
our boy.
Garrry, our boy, Garrry,
And he's got this, so he's maybe 14. He's got this combo lock on his door, locking his mom out of his shit.
right.
he
He's
doesn't
very
barely
quiet,
speak to
doesn't say
her.
shit. Right. So he's wandering back and forth with this crumpled up,
This fucking brown paper bag, which when we get to what's in there, I have questions about what was the
Yeah.
to and fro.
Yeah.
With the bag.
What's the
Where's the
exchange?
VCR at school?
What's the
Or
exchange?
right, or you're selling them, or what's? Or yeah, it's a
Is
swap
this,
situation. Maybe.
what's his? Someone's got an older brother that works at the video store,
Maybe, and he's got a
and they're giving them behind
or
the
something.
behind the curtain tapes.
So yeah, so mom's at the table, Dianne Wiest stressing on bills, and she tries to be friendly, like, oh hi, and he
Right.
just bye. He doesn't eat
Garrry,
breakfast. Yeah,
Garrry. Yeah, no.
tries
he
to be
doesn't
like
wanna eat.
Garrry, my boy, and he's like,
Yeah,
bye.
no.
And so he takes his skateboard and his paper bag, and he walks
Yes.
out as she's telling him, oh, by the way, like the whole family's coming over tonight, blah blah. And he doesn't even show up
Yeah,
for that,
great.
right? Where the fuck is he during that?
No,
he's
I
not
don't
even
think
at
he
this
is.
big
He's
event.
just like, oh, thanks for letting me know so I don't come.
Right? Or he was just locked in his room. So she goes and knocks on her older daughter Julie's door and
Right.
asks her to come help her clean up because family is coming over.
Right.
And she starts talking shit about that Todd, that I'm so glad you
That
broke up with that
Todd.
Todd. And
Because I want you to concentrate on your. She's in high school.
yeah, she just passed her SATs.
So you presume she's a senior.
So
in
she's
high
a senior.
School.
So she's 17, maybe
17,
18.
16,
Yeah.
17.
And unless she's super
You
smart.
are 16 going on. Well, I was 16 when I started my senior year. I graduated when I was 17.
Yeah, I guess same. I graduated at 17.
So yeah, so she's, well, whatever. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. 17, 18 years old.
So as soon as mom closes the door, who crawls out from under the bed but Todd in his chonies?
The most adorable little Keanu Reeves.
And she's like, oh, she mentioned that she heard the moaning last night. You have to be more
Right.
quiet. It's him who's moaning.
Right?
She thought it was
it's
her.
him having a
Todd.
stomach ache.
And he's like, oh, I can't count myself with you.
if you look at where the room is situated, it's like right off of the living room, which I guess is not next to the bedrooms. I don't know
But
where
still.
mom's bedroom is,
Yeah.
but still.
And they're across
I mean, it's-
from Garrry, aren't they? Like right across
I
the
don't
hall?
know. Like Garrry seemed like he
Oh,
was
off
down
to
the
the-
hall.
Off in the
But
corner.
like Gary's doing his own weird shit. Like who knows what the fuck? Well, Gary's doing his own weird shit. Period.
So Todd and Julie get a little frisky, and he pulls out the camera
That's exactly what I want.
to record our
Yeah,
love.
we can record our love.
And then mom's on the phone talking about to Susan, I think, about how well she did on her SATs, and she's all excited.
Right.
And Rick Moranis is her sister's husband, and he's over there teaching their kid. Lecturing her about education, and you'd see her face.
You think it's going to be a big.
You think
kid,
it's a teenager?
It's like this small child, like preschool age child.
Yes,
little Patty,
like maybe a year older than the little naked kid in the cowboy outfit.
Yes,
like they're about the same age.
She's supposed to be able to relate to this child, and she can't. We find out later is because she's too smart.
So at the family gathering at Helen's that night, Gil's kids are playing in the yard. The family's gathering inside. And Grandpa's like...
he can't remember whose wedding he was drunk at.
Yeah.
And they're like, all of ours. And he was like, well, which one did I hit the photographer?
Oh, that was
like,
mine.
oh, that was mine.
Yeah, or I think he was a band leader or something. He said he punched the band leader.
He punched the band leader at Gil's wedding. That's right. And like... Karen and Helen are chatting about the kids, and her ex-husband has a new wife and new kids.
And now he
won't even fix their teeth anymore.
Not only does he not acknowledge they exist, he even won't be their dentist because it's weird. It's awkward.
It makes him uncomfortable because he has made this uncomfortable.
And so I'm guessing they've been divorced for 5 years.
It's got to be a long
least.
time. Well, if she's under 30 and she has a 17-year-old, a 16, 17-year-old.
So he was like, they were teen parents or something. I don't think
Possibly.
these dudes really thought about the math.
No.
When they made ages of the people and the children.
No. Because now I want to know, we don't have any research assistants tonight. It's just us. I want to know how old, because I know that Steve Martin was older than he was playing, but how old was Dianne Wiest? How old was Mary Steenburgen?
I feel like they're all kind of around the same age, but I could be wrong. Like within 5 years of each other.
It's possible. You keep talking. I'm going to look that up.
Okay. So she's talking about how Gary's biology teacher wants to date her. And they're talking about Patty. Patty's reading. She's already doing math at high levels. And so they're talking about this, and they're showing that Patty is looking at these flashcards, like Rick Moranis is doing these flashcards with her, and then cut to the little Justin Gill's son walks over, and he's like eating the dots.
I know.
Off of
He's
the flashcards.
Right, because like Gil says something to him about like, oh, that's great that you've got this little genius child. And he's like, oh yeah, you're doing such a hot job.
Right.
Like they kind of have, like it's not mean.
But there's definitely, and I think it's all Rick Moranis because he's trying
weird.
to make a baby genius.
Yeah.
And so,
and like he doesn't even like, we'll get there in a little while, but like he doesn't even care about like any further children being smart because
just this
the only one that matters is just the one. Just the first makes the difference.
And Susan's telling Helen she saw her old boyfriend and he was in a Rolls Royce, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm an idiot, whatever."
Right? Yeah, like I went and looked and whatever. Dianne Wiest is 3 years younger than Steve Martin.
Okay, yeah, I figured they were close in age.
So he was 44, so she would already have been 40.
Yeah.
And she was supposed to be younger. Let me see about.
And I don't know. Maybe I'm just presuming he's the youngest. Maybe the oldest. Maybe Helen was the oldest. I don't know that it ever said. I think I just assumed.
She could have been. I assumed they were the two eldest.
But Helen's kids
siblings.
are significantly older than his. So she maybe was supposed to be older.
That's true.
Maybe she was supposed to be like 40. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Mary Steenburgen is nearly 10 years younger than Steve Martin.
Okay. Bigger difference there.
Right. And Rick Moranis. You keep going.
So Grandpa announces the big surprise. It's their brother Larry, the golden child, the youngest boy.
The whole reason that they are all gathering together is because Grandpa has a surprise. And the surprise is their like bullshit. You can see it in all of the
they're all like,
what's the
grift this
here
time?
Come Larry. Exactly.
And it's been 3 years since anybody's seen him.
Right.
And then here comes this little boy peeking around the corner like, Daddy.
Oh, I was going to wait to introduce my son.
His name is Cool. And presumably he didn't name him that because he just met this child. So the mother named him
just a
Cool.
couple months ago. Just a couple months ago, I get hit up by this showgirl in Vegas who I used to live with.
She shot someone and she's got to leave the country.
She's got to leave the country. So now I have this kid, which I guess it's a good thing there was a kids table, I presume, because I didn't see any of the kids
listening to this conversation
at this table while they're having this conversation. He just tells these stories like...
Yeah, like it's whatever.
Like I would be... I mean, like I couldn't imagine... I couldn't imagine telling my mother.
Right? That this is my kid from a showgirl who shot someone and had to leave the country.
Could not imagine. Like, my mom would still hit me as a 27-year-old appearing after a couple of years with a small child named Cool. She'd beat me just for that.
And then to be like...
She'd hit me for naming the kid Cool.
And I've got a big idea. Hydroponics. I just need to leave this strange child with you for a couple of weeks. While I go get my shit
no
together.
big deal. Right. Like, I need some money and I need to get... And, like, Nathan asks him, he's like, hydroponics. I heard of that shit. Mm-hmm. So what are you doing? Like this or that?
And he's like, I don't know any of that. I just make the deals.
I don't do none of that. This is the grift, baby. I wasn't expecting anyone to know what the fuck this is.
And then the power goes out suddenly. And everybody's scrambling for a flashlight. And this is one of the funny... Like, this stood out in my memory so hard.
Yes.
Because I did... know what this was by the time I saw it, but I feel like the very first time I saw it, it took me a minute to get what, because I was probably 11.
What exactly it is the happening. Blandest.
It is. They made sure it did not look like a
blandest fucking vibrator there ever was. So, well, to be fair, also Helen is like, there's a flashlight in the drawer, in my room,
and that's where he went,
right next to my vibrator,
to a drawer in her room, and he comes out and he tries to turn on the flashlight.
I got it.
And it's like. And then the lights come on, and he's holding his sister's giant vibrator. It's so big.
Dying. Well, it's long. Even Grandma is like, that's big.
And for being one that's like a hard plastic one.
I know.
Ow.
It doesn't like bend or nothing. What is that for? Like, do you just lay it across?
I don't know. It's
both holes? I don't know. All three holes?
And Gil is like cracking up. Like,
I know.
She's mortified, but Gil thinks it's hilarious. He's like,
that's precisely the kind of reaction that a brother would have.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you presume it's Dianne Wiest. You presume she rinses it in between. So, it's probably fine.
He's like, well, it didn't smell funny, so whatever, it's funny.
Well, I didn't smell it taking it out of the drawer, so I guess it's fine.
So now it's Monday, and it's time for the parent meeting for Kevin. And the principal recommends he go to a school with special education classes for his emotional problems.
Right. And they're like, no, like, he's not. They're like, well, don't let that.
Because they also have had a child psychologist observing Kevin without their knowledge.
Right.
So he comes in to tell him, like, what's
wrong with their kid?
Sweet, sensitive, very tense boy.
Very tense boy.
And Gil starts going off like she smoked weed while she was, and she's like, no, well, I was pregnant in college. Like,
I know. He was like, but she was like a chimney.
So yeah, there's like, they start arguing and everyone.
Karen party.
And the principal's like, hey, it's nobody's fault.
It's hard to hear. But like, also, it's not necessarily special education this kid needs. There's just nothing.
Well, they also, that was maybe a blanket term. So it wasn't like that
means
he's
slow.
That too. It means he needs to go in a class with a smaller class size so that somebody can work with him more individually.
Look, there's 36 kids in this class, and this
we don't have time for this.
Spending all of their time with your kid. So yes, he'll get all the attention in a special needs class where he doesn't really belong.
Right.
He just needs therapy on the outside to chill the fuck out.
Pretty much. And Gil's like, no, I'll send him to a private school. I don't even care. I'll get a second job.
I'll pay
He's
for
not
it.
going to a special education school. And they're like,
well,
we'll see.
Especially then, at that time, because he's talking about the stigma, and it's so true. Mm-hmm. Especially back then, like, the kid goes into special ed.
Right.
Special ed.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they also just said, a school that offers special education. So it could just be another public school, but they have classes he can go to once or twice a week or something where he can get special help with the stuff he's behind on in his other classes.
I mean, that's how it works now. I'll tell you that much, is because that's what my kid gets. But he only gets they do percentages now, like what percentage of special education.
Oh, okay. I homeschooled, so my kids got extra special education from me.
He's got the dysnumera, which is probably something that I have, but they didn't have a word for it then.
What does that mean? I've never
We're
even
just
heard
bad
that.
at math. It's like dyslexia, but with numbers.
Oh, I had never heard.
So when you
heard the
look at
word.
you look at math, and it's like,
This makes
that might
no
be
sense
it. 'Cause
to
that's
me.
how I look at it too. But they didn't have words for it then.
So yeah, there's
I
also
should probably
that.
go.
This was
they didn't have words for it then.
1989, so that's still
Well,
it
that's
was
how
all
it
a
was.
blanket thing.
For my mom's dyslexic, but in the early 60s,
You
they
just
didn't
didn't
test
read
you.
good.
right? They just didn't read good,
That
and
was
you were
it.
just like you were just kind of slow.
Yeah.
because you didn't read good. Because there's nobody that's going to teach you any different.
So he's like, yeah, I'm not going to send him, and the therapist and the principal are just kind of look at each other like, we'll see about
They're
that.
like, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll see. You're going to have to.
So now Todd and Julie go to pick up their pics from the photo mat. You guys remember the photo mat?
Oh man, the little booth
little
in
hut.
the parking lot
Yeah.
of like Rite Aid or Walgreens or Lucky's.
Every once in a while, you'll see one of those buildings still
Long's.
standing, and it's like one of those water refill
Thrifties.
places or something.
I know, or it's either that or a propane
Yeah, it's just like
exchange.
Yeah.
That's what has become of all of those things because now, and I used to do this shit. I probably involved so many people in like a passive form of child pornography because of all the semi-nude photos I took as a teenager.
I don't remember how much.
And
I
then
did that.
I did it kind of a lot. I did it kind of a lot.
Maybe I blocked it
and
out.
then involved other people in this.
Maybe I blocked it out.
I mean,
because
I
I was
didn't-
definitely
I didn't
sexually
consider it.
active, so it's not
I
like
didn't
I was.
consider it to be a problem.
Now you
because
get
it wasn't a problem
you get
to
fucking
me.
CPS called now for sending your boyfriend.
Oh, I'm
nudes.
sure. Well, back then, the only thing that you would get would be the little slip of paper sometimes in your
was like, these
photo
photos.
thing that was like, we're not doing
We're not.
this.
We're not printing these.
I've gotten that more than a couple of times.
Ooh, I don't think
More
I've
than
ever
once.
gotten that.
Maybe twice, where I have gotten the thing where they were like, they refused to develop my photos because they were too dirty.
So they go to pick him up, and the pictures they get are like of her mom, of like a party
from
her
the-
mom went to or something.
It's from the event that just happened.
Yeah. And they're like,
Or whatever. She's
no,
like, wait a minute.
there should be another one. And he's like, nope, that already got picked up.
By who?
And she walks into her house, and there's her mom looking through her nudie
looking
photos.
at the picture. She's like, I don't know which one's my favorite.
I think this one is my favorite. Ooh, here's something for my wallet.
Right? She was like, well, I'm glad to know it's not a job. Because, like,
Oh, yeah.
Julie's like, it was just for fun.
And she's like, you did these things in my house. This is your room.
Right. This is my house. This is your room. Like, yeah, I did too.
She's like, well, somebody should be having sex with something that doesn't have batteries. And she goes after
I
her
mean,
ass. She like runs to her room and
You
slams
know
the
what?
door, but she comes
the
at her.
reason that I am having sex with machinery is because your dad left to party,
And I stayed to be a
raise
parent.
2 children, and now I'm fucking lonely.
Yeah.
and I'm a bummer, and now I'm a fucking
And guess what?
almost
when you get
40-year-old
married at
mom.
17 and have a kid like you're about to do,
Right.
you're going to be just like me when you're 35.
Yep.
Lonely
Yep,
with your
you're gonna
vibrator.
be miserable too. You think that this shit's funny now? Just wait, just wait.
It's coming. So
It's
Julie packs
coming.
up her shit in a trash bag. She's like, I'm moving out with Todd. And she's like, what? Okay, that
Hold
escalated
on,
quickly.
like, okay, well, bye. Like, you can come back whenever. Call me.
And Garrry comes home as she's leaving, and she's like, I'm moving out, Garrry.
She's like,
And
"You
he's just like,
upset your
"Bye."
brother.
He's just like, whatever, bye. He does not give a shit.
You upset your brother.
So yeah, she chases her out. First, she tells her, if you leave, don't ever come back. But then when she sees her out
Right.
the window, she's like, wait, if you need me, if you need anything, I'm here.
She's like, you think this is stupid, but this is love. He touches me, and I quiver.
yeah, you do that
She's
when
like,
you're
oh my
17.
God. Shut the fuck up.
fades.
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick.
So now,
It's not going to feed you.
Yeah.
It's not going to feed you, baby. Let me tell you.
Grandpa and Larry are, Frank takes Larry out to reveal his classic car he's been working on
Right.
in the garage.
He's got this. He's been working on it for a couple of years.
He knew
piece
Larry
by
would
piece.
appreciate it. He's the
Right,
only one of
nobody
his
else would
kids that
appreciate
gives a
it. But,
shit.
well, yeah, because, of course, because he wants to appraise it.
So
see
yeah,
how
they're
much
out
it
there
costs.
talking about it, and Mom comes out with cool like, "Oh, you guys should take him somewhere. Oh, just
Right,
plop
and,
him in
like,
front of
Grandpa-
the TV." That's what I always do.
Well, even Grandpa, you could tell, like, his whole style is like,
Yeah.
I'll alert the media. Whatever. Take
And
the
she
fucking
looks
kid
so
inside.
sad. She's been dealing with this man
I know.
for like fucking 50 years.
Yep.
Can you imagine?
Yep.
This asshole. How are they still married?
Because you had to.
And Larry's like,
because you had to. My grandparents never got fucking divorced.
But
They
they hated
lived
each other.
separately.
Oh, they lived
like
separate.
almost my entire life. 40
they were
something
married.
years. Well, like they've both been like a couple years gone now, but like almost 40 years. Never lived together like almost my entire life, but were married the entire
So
time
weird.
because they're Catholic.
so weird.
Catholic, you just don't.
And Larry drops the bomb. He needs to borrow like just about $3,000. Just about
Oh yeah,
3K.
you know, whatever.
I just lost a little
you
money
know,
gambling.
I got a little thing. I got like things in the air. I need some money.
little sports betting. And I think now might be a good time to take a quick break.
All right, let's do
We'll
it.
be right back. And we're back.
We are back.
And Patty's doing some karate with Dad, with
Right.
Grandma looking on. But when
Right,
Mom
he's
comes
showing
home,
her.
Dad looks back and gets fucking clobbered by this
Punch right
small
in the face.
child.
She's got some good news.
Yeah,
she
she
gets
does.
to teach again.
Right, yeah, they're gonna be able to do vacations in the summer, and they're planning to go to Mexico. And then he's like, "Well, I don't want your brother Gil to watch Patty," and she's like, "What?"
Well, why not? And he was like, "Well, it's gonna like backtrack on all of the education that we've given her. Like,
And she's
why
like,
doesn't
"But
she
has
come with
fun
us?"
there? Yeah, and she's like, "Yeah, take her with us. It'll be fun." And she's like, "What the fuck?" He
I
goes, "We'll
don't
get 2
wanna-
rooms." She's like, "Which one am I sleeping in?"
Yeah, exactly.
So she goes to sneak her
Precisely.
sneaky snack box because we forgot to mention they were power eating. They've been taking their own
yes.
salads everywhere, so they can eat
Exactly.
healthy.
Power reading wherever it is that they go. And she's like got her
Hostess
secret ding
secret
dong.
box.
She's got
Yeah.
her secret hostess in the closet.
So now Gil's at work. He finds out he didn't make partner as promised because he's not dazzling them with working
Oh,
massive amounts of
dazzle me.
overtime. Yeah.
And he was like, I did all of this shit. And he was like, yeah, but the other guy, like, I don't even know if he has kids.
He'll stay all night. He'll work weekends.
right.
He's on top of that.
Schmoozing. He's doing all the shit. And he was like, well,
And that was a
actually,
bad time.
it's funny you should mention that because I got to spend more time at home because my kid's kind of fucked up right now.
Yep. So cut to he has taken Kevin out to play bad dudes at the arcade. And Kevin
They've
wants
gone to a
know,
movie
or
or
yeah, a movie.
something.
It's like the arcade in the movie theater. And he's like,
why am I in therapy? It's like, because of that. Because you just turned around and yelled across the room.
why am I seeing
in
a
therapy?"
psychiatrist?
Because of that, Kevin. That's why.
And he tries to reassure him, like, nothing's wrong with you. I was just like
Right.
you when I was a kid. And like, it's all going to be fine.
You just worry
and-
a lot. Like, it's just, whatever. Like, you just need to meet with somebody and talk it out and do whatever it is you got to fucking do. We're going to get you back on the straight and narrow. It's cool.
And by the way, don't forget you got a birthday coming up. What you want for your birthday? He's like, I want
Hey.
Cowboy Dan. Was it
Yeah.
gunfighting balloon man or something?
Balloon. Yeah. He was like, some other kid had him at his birthday party and everybody loved him. So we need to get
He's
Cowboy
like,
Dan. He's
done.
like, cool.
Totally
we'll do
done.
it. We'll get Cowboy Dan. No fucking problem, kid.
And he teaches him to say to cute 8-year-old girls, hubba,
Hubba,
hubba.
hubba.
8's a little young, Gil.
Well, that, and then he like goes on to say it to his mom. That's another reason you're in therapy, Kevin.
So Frank, what did I even write here?
I don't know.
Frank something shows cool his sweet ride. I don't know what that
Oh,
second
out
word
of
was.
the limo. He gets tossed out of that fucking limo.
Oh yeah, so he's out there showing cool the classic car when Dad
Grandpa's
gets
showing
chucked out of a
cool
car.
the car. But his dad, yeah, like in the middle of the fucking day.
I know.
In the middle of the fucking day,
And while
they
people are
drive into
standing outside,
suburbia.
yeah.
They drive into suburbia in a limo, like taking corners.
And he's like, "Who is that?"
And
Oh, those are
toss
my
him out of-
friends. And he's like, "Friends, slow down. Sometimes even stop."
Right, and he was like, "So anyway, what's for dinner? Is dinner ready?"
Yeah,
like,
just
what's
like
going
nothing
on?
happened.
Because what the fuck? Daytime gangster business?
Bullshit.
Larry, you're in deep.
Deep
You're
shit.
in deep.
So Julie gets brought home by the cops because she was panhandling. And her
Oh,
mom's
God.
like, "Why were you panhandling?" "We got in a fight, and he told his brothers no bitch
Oh,
is
yeah.
going to tell him what to do." And
Oh, he said he loved me. And he's like, oh, honey, they say that. And then,
they come. I was like, I definitely never caught that line any other time
I know.
I've seen this.
Nope,
I
until
had to.
this
I had to
time.
put a question mark. Did she
I
just
was
say
like,
until
she
they
sure
come?
the fuck did. And she was like, Mom, get off your fucking high horse. The last guy you dated stole our furniture.
they're talking about men are scum, and Garrry hears this and scurries out with his little paper bag.
I know.
And now it's
like,
time
Julie's back.
Yeah,
Great.
time for grubbing down. They're getting some snacks. Yep. And Todd runs in. Julie, you live with me. And she's like,
Helen's face is like, oh, fuck.
Here
like,
we
she
go.
was like, oh, we're going to have some ice cream. Everything's going to be cool. And then he runs in. You're like, oh, God damn it.
And he chases her out. And Mom's like smacking him with a newspaper like a bad dog. And he's like, you can't leave. You're my wife.
She was like, I wouldn't go with you if the world was flooded with piss and you lived in a tree.
Wow.
Which was great until...
Yeah, you can't leave. You're my wife. And he's like... Or
what?
her mom's like, what?
What did you
me?
just say? Like, well, we got married. Now she's beating her ass.
Yes, with the newspaper. He's like, sorry. I told my brothers
Right.
they mean nothing. You mean everything. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Christ. Are you out of your mind?
Oh, my God.
How did she even get married if she's not
She
18?
must
Or
be
maybe
18.
she is.
Or she forged her mom's permission or something. I don't know how it works.
She forged her mom's. I would imagine she would have had to have been there.
You would think.
Where is this supposed to be?
I don't know if it ever says.
I
not
know
sure.
that they filmed in a couple of different places. I want to say one of the places being like
I think it was like
Minnesota
Florida
or some
and
shit
Minnesota,
or whatever. Yeah,
something like
Florida.
that.
So I don't know what the laws are, but she must have been at least 18 because she went and got married.
So now we go back to Gil's family. He's coaching the Little League. And he
Out
puts
there at
Kevin
practice.
out on second base.
Oh, and this little fucker Matt. This
Sighing,
little fucker
like,
Matt. Like, no one's coming, Matt.
I know.
No one's coming. The scouts are not coming to your little league game. Relax.
Yeah. And Gil tries to remind Kevin, like, it should be fun.
It's fun.
It's supposed to be
It's
fun.
supposed to be
Don't
fun.
freak out.
Exactly.
Don't get freaked out. And he's
Right,
imagining
just go out there and whatever.
He imagines Kevin as valedictorian,
Oh,
thanking
if
his
he
father.
puts him out there. Yes,
for-
he did everything right. I was pretty mixed up. And then my dad came through and he did everything right.
Standing
But
ovation
then-
from the crowd.
Yeah, stand up, Dad. This is all for you.
So now it's game day, and Clint Howard is one of the dads of
Oh,
the kids
Lou.
on the team, and he's a fucking
Lou,
asshole.
Chain smoking. Chain
At the Little
smoking.
League game.
It's Matt's dad. You know this.
Of course, it has to be.
He's Matt's dad. They're like far too intense.
And of course, he doesn't catch this like pop-up fly. You stink, Buckman.
Okay, excuse me. No one's mad at this fucking pitcher. The pitcher pitched the ball that this kid fucking hit. No one's mad at this fucking pitcher. Poor Kevin. Like, he wouldn't even had to have catched this ball if the pitcher hadn't have fucked up and like sent one right
they
down
were
the
just
fucking
looking
pipe
for a
for this kid to
reason.
hit. I know they already hated Kevin. It was like a Carrie White
dad,
situation.
He had no business being out there.
He had no business being out there.
What
Like
the
all the parents are
fuck?
talking shit.
And now he imagines Kevin as a school shooter, blaming
yes, that
his father.
That he's Charles Whitman. He has climbed a clock tower and he's sniping people.
It's just because of my dad made me play second base.
Oh, come on. They call him up. The cops get him to come out there. He's like, when you're sliding into first and you're feeling something burst, diarrhea.
So now Nathan is checking Susan's diaphragm for holes
Right.
by pouring
Yeah, 'cause
water
he-
in it. Because
he
does
this.
Does that to
He
make
does
sure
this.
that she's not
because there's a
jeopardizing their
plan.
plan, which she is.
It's a plan. Yeah.
Because she wants a baby
'Cause-
now.
Right. But we have talked about this.
There has to be
The
a
most
5-year
exceptional
age gap.
people are either only children or people that are eldest children with sibs more than 5 years behind them.
So yeah, that's what she meant earlier. We're talking about
Sibs.
he only cares if the first kid is smart.
Right. He doesn't care if the second one, like, who gives a fuck, whatever.
'Cause
Like,
apparently
if you want to have a
it's-
baby, that could be your baby.
They're not going to be an only child, or they're going to be the oldest child. So they're apparently cursed from the time
Right.
they're born. No genius for
And
you.
she's like, they're not sibs. They're babies. Which, like, I mean, like, you got to know. You got to talk about this shit. You got to talk about this shit.
Yeah.
You got to talk about this shit. If your relationship is getting serious, you talk about kids. If you're going to do it, if you're not going to do it, you got to be on the same page. It's important.
So now Todd and Julie are living with Mom.
Yes, over there at Helen's, Todd and Julie are shaving parts of their hair off.
Giving each other undercuts.
Right.
And
Well,
mom's
and
like, whatever, just clean up the mess.
she's like, oh,
she's
great.
over it.
Yeah, just clean it up. And apparently this was the reason that this scene exists is because the whole beginning of this movie, Martha Plimpton had to wear a wig.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious.
Because it was. And the director hated the fucking wig. So they were like, let's do this so where she could just have her fucking
however her hair
shaved
is
head
under
out.
there, yeah.
Because I'm tired of the wig. She's tired of the wig. It looks fucking
It
awful.
was a Brady
That
wig.
bang.
It was a Brady Bunch wig with that
Well,
little
like, there
curl
was
in the
that-
front.
It was a weird, like, I don't know if that was her hair that they tried to, like,
Do a
brush
little-
out in
yeah.
the front. But it wasn't working. So they hated the fucking wig. They got rid of the wig. That's why this scene exists. And Keanu looks his most cute.
He's adorable with this haircut.
He is most cute.
I love it. So Garrry wants to talk to Mom. He wants to know how long are Julia and Todd going to live here because, it's getting kind of crowded. So maybe I could go stay with Dad.
Go live with Dad. And she's like, oh, no, you want to go live with Dad.
She's like, have you talked to him about that? And he's like,
no, I'm going to call him right now.
So she gives him his work number because that's where he'll be. And he calls the
Right.
office and says it's his son. And he gets on the phone, Joey.
He's like, oh, no, it's not Joey. It's your other son, Garrry.
So he has
Garrry, your
kids-
boy.
his second set of kids are old enough
He
to
had
call
a
him at
whole-
work. So
Right.
it's been a while.
He has a whole nother family, a whole nother set. This is what Helen was talking about
Right.
earlier, is that he has gone off, he's had another family, and he doesn't even acknowledge his children. So she lets him call his piece of shit dad.
And he, of course, does not think it's such a good idea for
Not right
him
now.
to come stay with him.
Because he tells me, he's like, well, I don't know, like a couple of months.
Yeah.
He's like, well, like how long? Mm-hmm. Like the weekend? No, like a couple of months. Like, oh, no, buddy, I
Nah,
don't think that's
not
such a
gonna
good
work out.
idea.
And she feels so bad for letting
I
him
know,
call,
she's
and
like,
she
Garrry,
goes in
you
for the hug
shit,
and he
but,
just bails.
Well, like, she had to, right?
He's
She couldn't
14
say
years
no.
old. If she says no, she's the bad
couldn't
guy.
tell exactly. She couldn't tell him like, no, you can't call your dad and see if you could live. She had to do this because he has to know your dad's a piece of shit.
Like, sorry
I
about
can't
it.
tell you that because you're just gonna think I'm the asshole. So
Right.
you need to call your dad, and he's got to be a piece of shit for you.
Yep. So now it's Kevin's birthday party time.
Oh, yeah.
And Dan, the balloon fighting man, is late.
Yes, they're not there, and we have this. Julie is there with Todd, and Karen is talking about not wanting to go back to work. She likes being a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah. And everybody expects her to go back and she doesn't know why. So now Patty gets traumatized by Gil's thumb trick. He's doing the disappearing or the removing your thumb trick.
Right.
And this little girl
Oh,
is so...
she's talking to. Well, that's the thing. Helen is talking to Susan.
Yeah.
And she tells him, or no, Karen is talking to Susan. She tells her that she used to blow Nathan.
Oh, yeah, that's right after this. So, yeah, they're talking about...
Oh, okay, that's what I was saying. The thumb trick. Oh, yeah, she's weird, and she should go into pre-K.
Yes.
Because,
and then
she
Susan's
can't even
talking
handle this
about,
shit.
yes, how Nathan used to get her hot. And she's like, for real?
What?
That guy?
Like, my brother-in-law, Nathan, used to get you hot. Rick Moranis.
And she's like, I used to give him roadhead. And she's like, what? What's
What?
happening? She's like, well, he
She's
used
like,
to get
yeah,
so
he would get
tense.
so tense. So I would give him roadhead.
I can't even
And it was
imagine
awesome.
Rick Moranis as a
I know.
And she talks about how she was so wild and he
This
was
is
daddy.
her sister-in-law. I know. He took her in hand.
Yes, Rick Moranis
And got
took
her
you in
shit
hand.
together?
Okay,
Excuse me. Excuse me.
ma'am.
Right? Like, I
Okay.
can't
I
imagine.
cannot. So now,
Even still.
and I know
Not
no,
now,
no,
not
no,
ever. Not
no.
even by the end of this movie do you
No.
not get a glimpse where you're like, oh, I get it. Nope. Not a once. Nope. Mm-mm.
And baby Justin out here and they really had this child with a bucket on his head slamming it against the wall. I mean, he wasn't doing it
Probably.
super hard, but he was
No, but he
bumping
was
his head into
probably,
the
that's
wall.
probably just a thing this kid did.
And they just recorded it.
I know. She was like, he likes to bump.
He just likes
to
to-
butt things with his head. I don't know.
And now it's
I like being
pinata
a
time.
mom.
Pinata time, and
Oh,
nobody
God.
can break the fucking pinata. Gil
I
has to get
swear
out there
this
with a
happened
saw.
to us. I swear this happened to us. Maybe not quite to the saw situation, but I feel like there was a party. So, like, one of the cousins birthday party, because we always had a piñata. I feel like one of the cousins' birthday parties, one of them was so hard to break that like one of the adults
Had to come
like,
beat the crap out of it.
and like whatever, which they were totally ready to do because they'd all been drinking beer all day.
Of course.
Because that's what you did.
Nana's getting over there getting high on helium.
Oh, yes. And Grover Cleveland was president when she was born. And that was a true statement.
I don't doubt
For this
it.
woman. For this woman, that was a true statement. She was born in like the last part of Grover Cleveland's, I don't know which.
And I think at the end of this movie,
presidency.
there's a warning about not inhaling helium. That it's
Oh,
bad
to
for
not
you.
do it, really?
That it
I
could
didn't
kill
see
you.
that. I mean, I rented it and I didn't watch it to the end of the credits.
saw
I
it
didn't know
in
there was
the
a
trivia
post-credit
thing.
warning.
I saw it like in a
Oh,
trivia
weird.
thing that it was like the only
Weird.
movie. I think they said the only movie ever to have a warning about not inhaling helium.
Well, you're going to do it anyway because it's fun.
We always did that shit.
We always did that shit. Everybody would do that shit. If you had access to a helium tank or helium balloons, like no shit, the first thing you're doing.
Got to get that squeaky
Is-
voice. Got to be
You
Alvin
have
and the
to.
Chipmunks.
It's fun. Yes, bitch.
But now instead of Cowboy Dan, Titty Tina shows up.
Oh, I know.
A stripper
There
got
was a
mixed
mix-up.
And
It
when
was a mix-up.
when Cowboy Dan showed up at where they were expecting a stripper, he's now in the hospital. So he
he's
ain't
been
coming.
beaten within an inch of his life.
Yes.
He's not coming. So now
Kevin's
I don't
freaking
know
out.
what the fuck to do.
Dan's not
well, now
coming.
he's like,
Dan's
everyone's
not
gonna
coming.
fucking hate me, and like Gil's like, he's coming,
And,
and Karen's like, dude,
well, and like he's like, it's gonna be you, and he's like, hey, you should have said your dad is one of the fucking three amigos, bro. I got this,
right?
I got this. He should have come out in
Right?
his fucking amigo outfit, like he pulled it out of the
like
closet.
breaks it out. Like that would have been a nice little Easter egg, but like I guess that's not what was in Gil's past.
So Gil comes out. I'm Cowboy Gil, as in guilty.
Guilty. I saw Cowboy Dan coming up here with that look on his face.
I killed him. His
I
guts
killed him and I
spilled
slipped
all over
around
the floor.
his guts.
I slipped around, and
You
the
know what I
kids
like
love
to
it.
do?
These are
I
like
know, they
8-year-old
do.
boys, and they think this story is
Which-
fucking great.
It's kind of hilarious to me because these kids are like 8, 9 years old. They know that's his dad.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter
Like-
as long as he's funny.
I mean, I
He's
guess,
being
I guess
entertaining,
when he's
like-
talking about murder.
Yeah, and then he's like, I blew a hole in him this big, and they're like, boo, and he's like, this
He's
big.
like, what about
boo.
this big? Yeah,
this
let's go this
big.
big. Yeah.
And after I'm done slipping around in them guts, I like to make balloon animals.
Who doesn't?
And then he makes this crazy
doesn't?
contraption. He's like, your lower intestines.
They're like, what is that? Yeah, and it's like
He's a
perfect.
hit. They
He's
love
like-
it.
Yes, he's absolutely a hit. So now
They have a squirt gun battle.
they're chasing him all over the place. He brings out the fucking cake on horseback
That was pretty badass. That he
because
could carry
they had
that
a
cake
luckily.
on a horseback.
Luckily, they had a horse ride, pony
Just
ride
that happened to be there.
at this party with a family of 3 children. Had a pony ride for the 8-year-old.
Yeah. I mean.
Wow, he's doing all right.
And when he goes to ride away and he falls off the horse into the bushes.
yippee ah like Karen's like, get down off that horse before you hurt yourself.
And he falls off, but he jumps up out of the bushes. Everyone's like, yeah.
Trying to like, he's like limping away like he's not in horrible pain. Like you just took this horse that's like a pony ride horse.
I'm sure he was just going to ride it around the block and come
Well,
back, but
to like you're gonna try to hop this fucking hedge, your neighbor's hedge.
seriously, he had to pay for that hedge. You know he did.
You're gonna have this horse trot.
So Karen's tucking the kids in, and Kevin tells him his dad, "You were funny, and I want to work where you work when I grow up, so we can spend all of our time together." And he's like,
Every day together. And he's like, oh, I win.
"And by the way,
I'm the
Mom,
best dad ever.
hubba hubba,
Hubba, hubba.
stop, Kevin, don't."
Kevin, too far.
Kevin,
Too
no.
far, Kevin. Kevin, no.
And then we see a first-person POV of Edward Lampkin, DDS's office, getting fucking trashed.
Right. Over there, it's like their flashlight, first person POV. Everything's getting busted up. The picture of his new family. Fuck them.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck them. Fuck your shit. Fuck your teeth. Fuck the x-ray machine. Fuck your chairs.
You know how expensive that shit probably was?
A lot. I'm glad.
Oof.
Because you know what? Dr. Lampkin deserved it.
And Helen runs
100%.
Oh yeah, Helen runs home looking for Garrry. His door is locked. He's not there. So she pries it open,
And you know that shit smelled like mushrooms.
The amount of stiff socks under that bed,
Oh, so many.
the mushroom smell was overpowering.
probably
The fact that she
smelled
didn't
like
respond
linden
visually,
trees.
like by plugging
Right?
her
That-
nose or making a
that
face,
was
that was a miss.
that was a missed opportunity because that was like that's realism right there.
And
right
she
there.
finds that paper bag up in the closet. For some reason, he did not take it with him today. I don't know where he's at that he didn't take his precious paper bag.
School.
And at first, she's all relieved because all these VHS tapes fall out, but it's like innocent movies.
It's like Back to the Future
Yeah.
and Land Before Time.
And she's like,
and
"Whew."
like, you know, whatever. She's like, oh, good. But then the tape falls out of.
And it's porno.
Oh, no. And she sits there and watches it.
And then at that moment, while she's watching it, Susan and Nana come in.
Right, because
It's
they've
time
been
to drop
shuffling this
Nana
old
off,
woman
yes.
around. They've been shuffling her around because Larry and Cool are staying with
Right.
Grandma and Grandpa. So great grandma has to be shuffled about.
And is it Nana
So-
who's like, she needs a man now?
I know now. Yes, that's exactly what she says. She's like, "This isn't mine."
And Gary comes
I'm not watching
in.
porn in my son's room.
But of course,
And
Gary
he's like,
comes
what
home
the
to
fuck
find
is
them all
everybody
in
doing
there.
in here?
And she's like,
That's
look,
got to be hard.
I know you're the one who broke into your dad's office, and you're right.
He's like,
to-
"What are you talking about?"
Yeah, you're right to have all these
Yeah.
feelings. You're a great kid. You got a lousy dad,
Right,
but we gotta both learn to say to hell with it.
right.
And
Like, cause fuck him, really.
she's like, "Do you want to talk to me?" And he's like, She's like, "You want to talk
No,
to Gil?"
not
And he's
really.
like, "He's got his own kids." And then here come Todd peeking in, and she's like,
Where's my wife?
and she's like,
At
would you want to
cheerleading
talk
practice.
to Todd? Oh yeah, she was at cheerleading practice. That seems so
Yeah.
out of character for her character.
She's like, yeah, they're hassling her about her hair. She does look pretty stupid. I don't know what we were thinking. He's got a bunch of donuts
Yeah.
in the middle of the day, Todd.
he has no job. What the fuck are you doing?
I know.
So yeah, so he does want to talk to Todd. So she comes in. She has Todd come in and talk to him, and then he comes out to tell her, and he's like, "Look, can we be honest?
Can I speak freely?
Yeah,
No holds barred. That is one messed up
little dude." And she's like,
He was like, so a little while ago, she's like in there making dinner. She's like, yeah, please talk. Like, please tell me what is going on with this kid. He's like, well, a couple months ago, Garrry got his first boner.
and he's been slapping the salami like he's going for a record.
Are you sure we can talk freely?
He thought something was wrong with him. And I told him
and
we
I
all
told him
do
was
it.
normal. Yeah, it depends. Like, you know. And
She's like, I guess at his age, he needs a man around the house. And this, it was so sad.
I know. He was like, well, that depends on the man. Like, I had a man around the house, and he used to wake me up by flicking lit cigarettes at me.
Get it, make my breakfast.
My breakfast. He was like, you know what? You need a license to, like, drive a car.
Own a
Do all
dog.
this shit. Catch a fish. But any butt-reaming asshole can
be a
become a
parent.
father.
Yep.
It's true.
So she thanks him.
Right.
Grandpa comes home. His car's gone.
This motherfucker, like, he's been slowly kind of coming around to the fact that his youngest baby
Is not
like,
the golden
is
child.
fucked up. But now that his car is gone, he knows his youngest baby has fucked all this shit up.
And now we're at like Chuck E. Cheese, where Kevin is getting bullied by a smaller
It's Showbiz
kid.
Pizza.
Oh, it's Showbiz Pizza. That's
it's
right.
Pre Chuck E. Cheese.
That's
it's
right.
Showbiz Pizza.
And a smaller kid takes his money, and Grandpa's over there like, "Go get your
Hey,
money back."
what do you-
He's smaller than you.
Right, that kid's smaller than you. Like, what the fuck? And Kevin starts panicking, and Gil's like,
Just please, Dad. Like, don't
just
right
back,
now.
butt out, please. Like, let's not do it.
And then-
Now his fucking retainer.
Oh, his retainer got thrown away, and he loses his mind. He's panicking,
he
crying.
cannot handle.
So they send the
It's
kids home
okay,
with
it's
Grandma and
okay.
Grandpa, and Gil and Karen
It's okay,
have to
but
dig through
it's
the trash.
$200
Yeah.
for this fight. Dental work is expensive.
It is. So yeah, they search. I don't even know if it ever shows if they find it. It just moves
I
on
don't think
after
they
that.
do.
And Gil's
He's
talking
like,
about
where did
he's
he
getting
get
worse
this obsessive behavior?
as he's over there scrubbing the shit out of
she's
his
like,
hands. I mean, he
I
was just digging
cannot
through public
imagine.
trash. It wasn't that
I mean,
weird for him to be washing his hands in a spigot.
Not at all. But he has shown that he's a little nervous and worrisome
Yeah.
throughout the rest of the time.
And so she's like, "What? You thought if you were a good enough dad, Kevin wouldn't need special ed?" And he's like, "Well,
Right.
kinda."
Kind of.
And he talks about they're born perfect, and then they grow up to be like me. So
Right. Next thing you know, like you haven't fucked up yet. Like this baby is born and you're looking at it and it's like there's so many possibilities because you haven't made a mistake.
but you will. Don't worry. We all do.
You will. We do.
So he's talking about he's going to have to be home late because he's got to dazzle his boss.
Right. He's like, I got to do all this shit. I got to dazzle.
And he's
him,
all
so
tense
let's go
driving home. And she's like, oh, you're tense?
Oh.
You're tense while you're
You
driving?
said the magic word. I remember that story. Like, let me help you.
And cut to them getting their car towed that's been crashed.
He's crashed the fucking car, and the cops are like, so how'd this happen? Show him, honey.
right? He's like, you just surprised me is all.
Right. Like, I'm sorry. She's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, no, I
Just didn't
was not
expect
expecting
it
a blowjob
in the middle of my drive home. Yeah.
It's never happened before. So now back at the grandparents' house, Larry's putting the car back.
Yeah. Some BS story about, I was just getting it appraised for you.
Oh,
But I need like
right,
your
I couldn't-
registration and your bill of sale. And his dad's
Shut
like,
the fuck up. You were going to sell my car.
I know what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
Oh, well, the truth is I actually owe $26,000.
They're going to kill me, Dad.
What'd you do with the $3,000 I gave
They're
you?
gonna kill me. I
Tried
bet on
to make
else.
more money so I didn't have to hit you for all of it. He's like, you ever
Right.
think about
It's like,
getting
what
a job?
is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. You tell me all the time, make your mark. But now I should just get a fucking job.
I'm better than that.
I'm not Gil.
And yeah, they're gonna kill me, Dad. Come on, I'm your son. And he's
Right.
like,
I'm your son. She's like, fuck. So now Nathan and Patty are practicing the periodic table with the flashcards.
Mm-hmm.
And Susan comes in with new cards and she wants to show them to Nathan.
and she makes him read out these flashcards that say
I'm
she's leaving
leaving
him.
you. This is all super basic. Like she knows all this shit. She's like, keep going.
It says I'm leaving you, and he's like, "This how you tell me?" She's like, "It's the only way I can get you to listen is on fucking
Right.
flashcards."
And it's true. So now, meanwhile, Helen has gone on a nice date.
Yeah, she
with,
finally went out with
Richard-
the biology teacher.
Right, who I thought was Richard Mauser, and it's not.
No,
And like Tod and Garrry are playing.
They're bonding,
Everything's great.
yes.
Like everything's fantastic. But Julie storms in.
because she's all pissed. She found that Todd has not stopped drag racing. She found his
Nope.
helmet.
Right? She found it in the trunk of his car. And like the other partners in the painting business took all his shit and bailed.
Yep.
I told you not to trust them.
And so Todd ends up leaving pissed, and Gary's like, "Why do the women always make the men leave in this family?"
If he thinks I'm having this baby, he's crazy.
And Helen's like,
what?
"Baby?
Again?
What the fuck?
What the
I was
fuck?
at Woodstock, for Christ's sake. I'm not old enough
I
to
know.
be a grandma."
He was like, really? So was I. She's like, really? I thought you looked familiar.
They fucked at Woodstock. They forgot.
I know, probably.
So Gil does
I
not
was-
dazzle his boss.
No, after all that, he doesn't get, like, were you not dazzled?
No, Phil's an animal. Like, basically, you can't compete. Like,
Well,
it's-
then fuck, I quit.
yeah, he quits.
You told me to fucking tap dance for you, and I fucking did, and you're still, fuck you, I quit. And he's like, oh, come on, like, oh, yeah, Gil, Phil, Dave.
So there's chaos in the house when Gil gets home.
Oh.
The whole fucking neighborhood of children is there. What is happening?
I can imagine, like, just the, why? Like, the only thing that was missing was that, like, either he would have dropped his keys when he went to put them in the door,
Something,
or
yeah.
his pant loop got caught
on a door
the
thing.
fucking
Yeah,
door handle.
exactly.
One of those two things would have made him murder everybody in the fucking house.
Totally.
Everybody would be dead.
So he tells Karen he quit his job, and she's like, can you change your mind? And he's like,
Right.
"Wha-
Like,
what?
did you say anything that would make it hard for you to go back? And he's like, no, I fucking quit.
Like, what are you talking about?" And she's like, I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant. Oh, that's great.
That's wonderful.
That's great.
And she's like,
we'll
"Oh,
see how much I can fuck up the next one.
yeah." And then she's like pretending like she really was planning to go back to work, and it fucked up her plans, and not like she wasn't really
Come
poking
on.
holes in her diaphragm, just like Susan.
Right? Her and Susan were on like a
Yes.
fucking baby
Because they
mission.
have all these people have kids at like the fucking same time somehow at the end.
I know. Like, there's no way that she was planning on going back to work. And now I can't.
She
Like,
already
come on,
told
Karen.
her, yeah, she told her
Come on,
sister-in-law
Karen.
she didn't want to fucking
She
go.
didn't want to. Like, yeah, after all of that day and they got frisky, and I can't imagine.
Well, and her
like,
whole, I think I'm good at this. What about your kids so far makes you think you're good at this?
That's a very good question.
I mean,
Nicole.
Curly Sue seems fine, like you said, but the oldest and the
You got
youngest
one
are a little
that's
off.
good. You're at a 1/3. Like you might be at a
She's
1/4.
just hoping for another girl that's going to be another little angel.
Right? That's going to be normal so that she could be a 50-50 mom. Her boys are like fucked up and weird.
Crazy.
Probably going to grow up to be a goddamn serial killer.
Right?
But the girls are fine. Let's have another baby. Let's have 5. Let's have 6. Let's have 12.
And she asked him what he wants her to do. And he's like, look, that's a choice a woman has to make on her own. And she's like, no, I want you to choose. And he's like,
pretend like you're a caveman or your father and you tell me what to do.
and he's not. He's like, I choose whatever you want to happen.
right.
or
Whatever you want to do.
And so he's like, I got to play the game. I got to whatever. I got to
Right.
get
Like
out
now
there
I
and-
have to be home even less.
Yeah. That now I'm going to have to work even more.
I have to start somewhere else. I have to do like my whole life has to.
And she wants this baby. And he's like, yeah, great. Let's have a dozen, which then he's in Cheaper by the Dozen later. Where he has
I was
a
going to
dozen
say,
kids.
then he goes on to have a dozen
Pretend
children.
like they're donuts. He's like, I got to
Right.
go. We got to go to Little League. And meanwhile, Kevin's like, I thought you said I didn't have to go to that anymore. And he's like, no.
He's like, no, we're fucking going, get in the
going.
goddamn van.
My whole life is have to. And trust me,
Yep.
as a parent, if you're on the
Yes.
fence about whether you should have kids, watch this movie.
yeah.
Because it's not about,
Well,
it's not
'cause,
all
yeah.
terrible. There's good
know what?
parts, but it will tell you some pretty realistic shit about unexpected
I feel
things.
like I read a story about, I want to say it's Helen Mirren. Because she doesn't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
She never had children. And she's never like, oh, I've never really worried about like, oh, I've never felt like I've been missing anything.
Right.
Because I never had kids, except for when she saw this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And she cried, like I wept for never having experienced being a parent, but also that was enough.
yeah, there you go.
That was enough.
Experienced it through
That was
film,
enough.
and that's plenty.
If that could be enough. It could be enough.
And you know what? This might need to be a double breaker because I've still
You
got
think so?
a
'Cause
bit
I'm
of
also-
notes.
I do. I also do. It was kind of there's a lot of shit.
And it's not
going
a
on in this
super long movie. Oh, and by the way, we forgot to say this is available nowhere streaming.
No, also no. I paid for this.
Yeah, we've had to.
I paid for
we've had to
this.
resort to paying. No, I was kidding.
I know. What the fuck?
So yeah, let's take another quick break. You can go
Let's
cool
do
off
it.
in the outside air out of your hot garage.
Oh God.
We'll go take off even more clothes, girl,
I
because we
know.
got
I'm gonna
another
be
half
nude
hour
by
to
the
go.
time I come back. Right.
All right, we'll be right back. And we're back.
We are back again.
And Grandpa shows up at practice. He needs Gil's advice.
And he's like, what are you talking about? You need my advice. He's like, I know you thought I was a shitty father. So
Yeah.
you're a good father. I need your advice.
And he tells him what's going on with Larry. And he's like, I was going to retire next year.
Well, he's like, well, can you do it? He's like, well, I can, but it's going to hurt. Like, I wanted to retire next year. And now I'm not going to be able to do that. It's going to put it off for a long while.
Never should have had 4. And like right after Gil
Oh,
finds
right?
out he's
Like-
about to have 4, that's going to be his Larry.
I know. That's what he says to Carrot. He's like, he could be Larry. Like, fuck, dude. Like,
And he tells Gil about, did you know we thought you had polio when you were 2? And I hated you for that because
He's
you
like,
made
"What
me
are you
care.
talking about?" He was like, all that shit's not for me. Not
Yeah.
for me. Which I guess fair. But like,
You shouldn't have had fucking even 1
Well,
kid, let alone 4 then.
I mean, I guess that's just what you did. It's just what you did. Like, there was no other choice. You like grew up, you got married, you had children.
Yep. He's like, look, Larry's 27, but he's still my son. I don't want him hurt.
Right. He's all just like, Kevin's your son. I don't want him to get hurt.
And
And
he's,
he's like, ah,
"Look,
fuck it. I'm
not a-"
out of here.
Yeah. And he's like, you worry too much. Tells him about him being it because he's like, no, I'm
Right.
I'm a bad dad. And he's like, nah, you worry too much. And he
Yeah,
just
you
takes
always
off.
did. You always did. I'll figure it out. Whatever.
So another Little League game, only this time Kevin catches it. Not only does he catch
Well,
it, he's so spectacularly because this little asshole.
Well, because that's the thing is
Clint
that
Howard
Lou
sends his fucking kid
is
over there.
and
like,
he's like, you catch it wherever it goes. Like, he's the only kid you got. Like, you get over there wherever the fucking ball goes. So now, again, the pitcher who sucks, but nobody ever fucking talks about this kid because he keeps throwing it right down the pipe.
right.
for these kids to hit home runs.
And he like knocks it. He catches it. This other asshole runs into him,
Right.
knocks it out of his glove. But before it hits the ground, while he's on the ground, he reaches up
He
and
catches
that
it. He
ball.
makes the catch, and yeah, Kevin saves the fucking day.
Woo!
Yeah,
So
like
now-
Gil is excited. Everything's great.
Now Larry nervously awaits Dad's response,
Oh yes, they're gonna have a discussion now. Now they're sitting down to talk
and he's like, "Look,
about
I'm
whether
gonna
or
help
not
you,
he's gonna help him. Yes,
but you gotta work and you gotta pay me back $1,000 a month."
well,
Or he's
well,
like, "No,
no,
if you
I'm
tell
gonna-
them, I'll give you $1,000 a month
exactly.
to pay them
He's all they'll take money regardless, and then you're gonna come work for me,
and learn the
and then
business."
right, and then when I retire, you're taking over the business. He's like, okay, that sounds good, but wait,
But I, got
I
a
have
big
this other
opportunity.
thing down in Chile.
I just need some cash, and like, what about cool?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
just
like
don't worry about it.
3,000. Yeah, he was like, oh, I guess that's kind of a, whatever. He's like, don't worry about it. I'll give you $3,000 to fuck off.
I'll buy this kid from
Basically.
you for $3,000.
Yeah, because this is not. He talks all this shit about the mother. Like, what kind of parent is that?
It's like
that
you're
just like
obviously
bails.
also a piece of shit. You're doing the same thing.
He doesn't realize it yet that he's a piece of shit.
And Cool sadly tells Grandpa, like, my dad's leaving. And he's like, well,
He's like, I know. He's like, is he ever coming back?
nope. He knows.
Do you want to stay here with us? He's
He
like,
does, yeah.
I do. And he's like, good.
And that's so you really think Larry never ever came back for this kid?
No,
and
I don't
these
think he did.
60-year-old people raised him?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they had the help
Yeah, of all the uncles and
Of-
aunts and whatever, but
because, like, these people are not that old, really.
Right.
Like, we thought they were old, but they're really not that old. They're in their early 60s.
yeah.
Just barely upon retirement age, but he can't because of his piece of shit
Yep.
youngest. He's like, fuck, I'll pay these guys off. Well, now he doesn't have to pay those guys off.
I guess
he just has
not,
to give them
'cause he's just gonna
$3,000 to
disappear.
fuck off. Mm-hmm. He's like, whatever. He's gonna leave the country. Not my problem. Not my chair. Not my problem.
So Nathan comes to Susan's school where she's a teacher to ask her
Right.
to come home.
And she's like, no, I can't talk right now. I'm about to teach a fucking class.
And she goes
Dog.
to start class and he comes in close to you. He starts singing this whole
Why do birds suddenly appear? And they're like, oh my God. She's like, this is our wedding song.
Yeah, and the class thinks
And all
it's
the
so
girls are
sweet.
like-
yes, they're like, that's all
I mean, I love the
wanted.
Carpenters too, but like, she could get fired for this.
He's giving Seymour vibes.
Yes.
He comes in full Seymour mode.
Suddenly Seymour.
And they kiss and the class claps.
Yay.
So now Todd's going to do a race and they've run to get Mom.
Right.
Like, well, only Julie
Well,
because
no,
Gary's
like,
out there
she's-
as mechanic.
I know. He's over there smoking, like, yeah, looking hot. Looking damn hot. And across the way, like, Julie's all pacing and worrying. And across the way, she sees, here comes Mom. Here comes Mom.
Mama.
Oh, Mommy.
Oh, now I'm Mommy.
Mommy. Yeah. She's like, well, fuck it. I'm here. I'm your mom. Whatever.
So, of course, Todd crashes.
Of course he does. He's like, in 8 seconds, he's going to be a legend.
Or he's going to be a fucking pancake.
Well, thank goodness he's not a legend in the way that, like, he died out there.
Right? So he crashes. They roll him over. They pull him out. He's like, did I win? He's
No, honey.
No.
No. You
Oh, no, I
didn't. And,
killed
like,
the car.
my brothers are going to be so mad. And, like, Julie can't.
She's like, this
I
is too
can't.
intense.
And Helen's like, this is Sparta. No, just kidding.
like,
this
this
is
is
marriage.
Let's
This is what you
go.
do. Get in the goddamn truck.
And Todd's all down on himself about, oh, I'm just a crash test dummy,
Because, like,
whatever.
the guy's like, hey, come back here and do that next week.
Right?
We love it.
And she's like, look, you're important. You're going to be the father of my fucking grandkid. Like,
Yeah, that's why I need you here. So they get back together, and,
and
Gary's
now Gary's
like,
all impressed. Like, you saved their marriage.
and she's like, yeah, I give him 6 months.
Right?
Or she cooks.
Seriously.
I'm your mom. I want to get you what you want. Julie wants Todd, so that's the least
Exactly.
I could do. Like, and she's also pregnant. They're already married. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, I want to try to at least keep them together if it's not like, it's not an abusive situation.
Right. He's just a dummy.
He's just a dummy, and he's adorable, and he's kind of
An adorable
helpful.
dummy. So
He's an adorable
Gary's
dummy.
glad that she's dating his teacher. He thinks he's funny.
Right. Someone should be nice to you. He'll treat you the way you should be treated, and someone should be nice to you.
Mm-hmm. So
That's nice.
Now it's time for Curly Sue's school play. She's playing Dopey in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Well, before that, Gil and Karen get into an argument about
While
this
she's
baby
sewing
and
the
all
ears
this
and
shit
stuff
and
on
like
her
whatever,
Dopey
like
thing,
all
yeah.
this shit's going on. And Gigi comes in like, you know what? I like the roller coaster. Your grandfather took me on a roller coaster ride when I was like 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. And like, you know, it went up and down and like a lot of people didn't like it. And they would on the merry-go-round, but it only goes around. I like the roller coaster.
And,
And then she takes off.
Thanks for that.
And, right. And Gil's like, great. I love that for you. And Karen's
Yeah.
like, I think she's brilliant. She's like, if she's so brilliant, why is she sitting in the neighbor's car?
So, and also he had mentioned before that his boss did call crying and beg him to take his
Right.
job back. So he's not unemployed when number 4 is
Right.
coming.
Thank goodness, because now we have to deal with all this. It's part of what they're arguing about, this
Right.
baby. Like, fuck, dude. So now off they go to this play.
So
And
they're-
it's cute. It's
it's
like
so
Snow White and the
cute.
Seven Dwarfs.
And the little Justin is, when they start being mean to Dopey, he's like,
Well,
that's my sister.
Yeah, don't you touch my sister.
And he
like,
runs up there. He
Okay.
fucks everything up, dude. Somebody should have snatched that kid.
Thank you.
Snatch him
So
out.
I have the note. I was like, okay, like they didn't really try that hard
No.
to get their kid off of or to explain to him, like, it's just a play. Like,
Right.
they're not really hurting
You know, it's
your
like
sister.
TV. It's like TV.
Exactly.
It's fine. It's all
just,
fake.
It's all play. They did not try. They just sat back and enjoyed the chaos. And meanwhile, Gil is hearing the roller coaster.
Right.
And he
He's,
looks over and he
yeah.
sees his wife, and she's loving it.
Yeah, Karen's laughing. A bunch of people in the crowd. There's some people who look pissed, but
Now-
for the most part, everyone's
Well,
laughing
I think
in the crowd.
he might have imagined that.
He
Like, the
carried
people like,
himself?
oh my God, here's that kid. It's that Buckman kid.
He had
Like,
that
you know,
Carrie,
whatever.
they're all going to laugh at you
Right.
moment.
I think he might have had that moment. And then when he realized that everyone's laughing
He's
and now
like,
it's
all right.
funny, it's like, oh, okay, I can see what you were talking about. I get the metaphor now. I'm enjoying the roller coaster.
Right. So we cut to the final scene of the movie where somebody is in labor.
Oh no, everyone's in the hospital. Everyone's waiting. There's a baby being
But
born.
as you look around, like, who's Julie's
Who
already
could it
got
be?
her baby. Susan's already
Julie's
got,
got
a
her
kid.
baby. Karen's got the baby.
So who
Susan's
the hell's having
pregnant.
a baby? Fucking
And
Helen.
Comes the biology teacher. It's a girl.
So
She's
she-
perfect.
Has a daughter that's younger than her grandchild
Yeah.
by like 8 months or something. Like
That was like a little baby. They had a little baby.
what, Julian?
Yeah,
so she
Julie
just
and
had it. So
Todd,
a couple
yeah,
months
like-
younger.
I would say 4 or less.
So like your aunt is the same age as
Right.
you. You
Your
grew up
aunt
playing
is
with your aunt,
older. Your aunt is 4 months younger than you.
and everybody's
4 to
there,
6 months.
and they all celebrate, and it's hugs,
Everyone's
hugs,
happy.
hugs.
Grandpa pulls the fucking no smoking sign off of the wall and lights up a fucking stogie. And all, with all these babies in the fucking maternity ward, sir, in the nursery.
It was the 80s, girl.
I know.
People were smoking in their car. My whole childhood, everyone smoked in the car.
I know.
with me.
In the
Weed,
car, in the
cigarettes,
house,
whatever.
Yep.
They didn't stop
I
smoking
knew
in the
better
house
than-
till I was an adult, I think.
I feel like it was when my brother was little. Like, I remember smoking in the house, and even when my brother was little, my dad smoked in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it took probably the law.
To say you're not allowed to do that anymore.
I do remember having the window down and having the ashes come back into the car when he would flick the ashes out the window, and the ashes would come back in the
Yeah,
car into my
yes.
face.
Yeah,
I remember
lovely,
that.
Lovely.
I remember that. In fact, that's why I started smoking. It was that first puff in the car.
Yeah.
That first puff of the cigarette smelled different than the rest of them, and that's why I started smoking.
Interesting. I
Yep,
always hated it
that's
that
it.
my parents smoked, and now I fucking smoke like an idiot.
I know, and I didn't like it either, except for that smell.
And I don't. I don't think this movie doomed me. Like, if anything, I think this gives you a realistic expectation of the roller coaster that is parenting.
Right, of life, really.
That sometimes there's joyous occasions and celebrations.
Sure.
And sometimes your teenage daughter gets married and pregnant.
Because you assume that, like, oh, the Buckmans are going to be fine. But of course, they're going to be fine, sure. But there's also going to be something else is going to happen.
Well, and guess what? All
Something
these
else
4
is gonna
little
happen.
babies are going to be teenagers in 13 years.
That
and there's
too.
going to be a whole nother movie.
That too. And who knows? Kevin might still grow up to be a school shooter.
No, as we know,
That is
Kevin,
not ruled out.
Kevin runs away and becomes a lost boy, Tessa. We know this.
No, his parents die in a car accident,
And
and
then,
he goes to live
he goes
with his
to
Danish
Neverland.
grandmother. No, he goes to live with his Danish
Oh,
grandmother.
the
and
witches.
fights
No,
the
but that was
witches.
before, wasn't it? Wasn't he younger? The Witches was before this.
Yeah.
This is 89. I feel like Witches was like that was maybe
or
2
it
or
might
3
have been
years
the
before.
same year. No, it
Maybe
might have
his
been the
parents
same year.
died and
Hold
the
on.
Buckmans adopted him, and then something happens
okay,
to
hold
them,
on,
and he
let me
runs away to
see.
be a lost boy. You know what happens? There's too many fucking kids in this family,
That's also
and he goes
true.
to Neverland.
That's
Like, fuck
also
this
true.
place.
Okay, hold on. When was the Witches? Oh, 90.
Oh,
So this
right
is after.
Oh,
So the
so he
Buckmans
did.
die.
The Buckmans die.
But where'd the other kids
So
go?
then the Danish grandma dies after the Witches, and then he goes to
Right.
Neverland. So
Yes.
he's here. He's Kevin Buckman.
Yes.
Then he gets adopted when his parents died.
'Cause
Then he
when
goes to
was-
Neverland.
When was Hook? That was 90 something, wasn't it?
91, I think.
Oh,
They were like
so the
bam,
year
bam,
after
bam.
that. Year after that. So grandma died of diabetes.
She
Then
had
he
the
ran
fetus.
off to Neverland and became Ace.
And did you ever watch the series Parenthood that came out maybe 10 years
No.
ago? I didn't watch all of it, but because I liked the actors who were in it, I tried to watch the first season. It was good.
Right.
But it's too long. It's one of those, like, it's the
Yeah,
movie
it's a series.
but long. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We
it's
know
a
the
series.
story. It's the ups and
It's a
downs of
drawn
Parenthood.
out.
But Craig T. Nelson
Nielsen
the Jason Robards.
daddy. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And
That makes sense,
what's
'cause
his
when
name
was
from
the
6
show?
Feet Under is Gil, I think. And I don't even know if their
Nathan?
names are the same, but
Well, I know, but the Gil character is Nathan from
Yeah.
6 Feet
the
Under?
hot one,
Yes,
the hot
he was
older,
cute.
yeah.
He was cute. I mean, he still is.
He's still
he still
cute.
looks good.
And
He's still cute.
what's her name? Gilmore Girl's mom is one of the sisters. Lorelai
Okay.
Gilmore is one of the sisters. There's like,
all right.
it's a good show. If you guys are into that shit, dramedy TV
If you're
series,
into that shit.
it's good. We have one
If
short
you're into that
voicemail
shit. Oh.
from, I believe it's Gorilla Vader. I think he sent us a text like 2 years ago.
Gorilla Vader.
Yeah. Because when I replied, like, oh, thanks for the message, it said there was like
See,
a
like,
text
you could think
message
of
from years
that-
ago.
You could think of that as either like a Sith gorilla or
An elevator that's a
escalator
gorilla. Yeah, or an
Yeah,
escalator.
an elevator that is a gorilla.
But it's
I
short.
prefer to think of it as an elevator.
It's short and sweet. So here we go.
All right.
Yeah, this is Gorilla Vader. You guys are kicking ass this year. Starting from the beginning to the end. You guys have been great. I listen to you on my bus, on the long drives. So thank you so much for your hard work.
Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
and
Gorilla
thank
Vader.
you.
You drive a bus?
I know, crazy. I
Or-
can't imagine.
yeah, that's
Or
cool.
just
Like, you
take
make-
a bus ride. I don't know.
Do you make all? Oh, maybe. I was gonna say, like,
Riding
if
on
you're
the
a
bus, driving the
driver, do you
bus?
make everybody listen to this?
That would be
That's incredible.
hilarious.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
put it on out loud on the bus. Let's see what happens.
See what happens.
So yeah, we got one more mom-centric movie coming for you.
Yes.
Before we
yes,
start, do I even remember? Oh, June is we're doing Summer Lovin' for
Summer
June, right?
Lovin',
So we'll have
Summer
some
Lovin', so that
summer-centric movies coming your way after
gives
that.
you, and our anniversary.
Or
is coming up
4-year
next
anniversary is June
Which we did not
13th,
discuss.
and we aren't doing anything particular
No,
for
we're
it. I
not.
don't
We
think.
haven't discussed
No.
what. I know what's coming up, but
We did
what
a big
we're doing is
200,
not-
so whatever.
We did. So who gives a shit? It's only been 4 years. Whatever.
Whatever. Not even an
Whatever.
accomplishment. Only 4 years. So yeah, until next week.
We'll talk at you next time.
Later, Doomers.